Hmm. There does seem to be a little bit of a conflict between the servants and the family. Very interesting. But okay, let's go indeed.
みんなもお腹が空いてたところでしょ。
だな。ゴーダさんがいる時の飯は楽しみなんだよ。あの人、どこぞの有名ホテルでシェフをやってたらしくて、かなり料理の腕があるんだぜ。
Unless she's gonna do another mistake and pin the blame on the Shannon once more.
ほうほう。それ楽しみ。行こうぜマリア。ガツガツ犬みたいに食い散らかすぞ。
Alright, let's go!
犬みたいに食い散らかす。
ダメダメ。バトラ君の言うことはいちいち真に受けちゃダメだよ。全部冗談なんだから。さあ、行こう行こ
う。Alright. Under Shannon-chan's guidance, we headed towards the mansion. The garden once more. Met once again by the magnificent rose garden, we continued onward, as the intimidating mansion of the Hushiromiya head family came into view. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost a half a century hanging about it. Okay. After the war. Which one? The second or the first one? Or is it a completely different war than World War? The building was gorgeous on the surface, but all that as it was. Actually, they said half a century, so yeah, it has to be World War II. No, it's World War if it's half a century. I don't know, but as old as it was, equipment such as its AC and heating were apparently quite frail. According to Jessica, midwinter was especially tough, what with all the drafts. Haven't these people ever heard of Katatsu? Apparently not. As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Now him, I remember. Genji-san, who had been working here longer than anyone, filled the role of head servant. Yeah, he does have the air of somebody who worked here longer than the rest. As our eyes met, he greeted me with a calm, composed voice. His bow wasn't as graceful or refined as Goda's, but despite its simplicity, it communicated his feelings very well.
Genji-san, 本当にお久しぶりっす。お元気そうですね。
おかげさまで健やかに過ごさせていただいております。バトラ様こそご立派になられました。親方様の若き日に少し似てこられましたな。
俺がじい様に？ってことは、さぞやじい様は若い頃モテたろうな。
ここからはシャノンに代わって私がご案内申し上げます。どうぞこちらへ。
Shannon-chan bowed deeply and watched us leave. I don't know, it does feel like Genji over here, he looks pretty tired of everything. He doesn't even respond to Balor over there. What was it with his face expressions and all that, he does seem pretty tired of everything. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people who had grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His appearance was exactly the same as in my memories from 6 years ago. It was as though time had stopped since the last time we met. Yeah, I can imagine. Genji-san was an extremely quiet and diligent person. He was basically grandfather's close aide or caregiver. And you might even call him grandfather's companion of many years. In fact, since he was by grandfather's side even more often than my late grandmother's was. According to Jessica, grandfather trusted him more than any of his blood relatives. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But I wonder how long he served. I don't know, probably 50 years. I never got the details, but I heard something about him being here since the very beginning, when this mission was first constructed. Damn. So I guess I'm close, for like half a century, which would mean that he's dedicated half of his life to serving here. It's easy to see why he's so trusted. Yeah. As we passed through a massive hall that extended up into the second story of the mansion, with no separating floor, I spotted something that hadn't existed in my memory of 6 years ago. It was an awfully big portrait hanging right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking, captivated by it. An interesting portrait. Who is this person? Since I stopped so fast, Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my bag.
ああ、悪い。なあ、ジェシカ。あんな絵、前はあったっけ？
I pointed at a big, prominently displayed portrait in the hall. Everyone else stopped too.
ああ、そっか。バトラが来てた頃には、あれはかけられてなかったっけ？いつからだったかな。
確か、僕の記憶が正しければ、一昨年あたりだったと思うよ。
さようでございます。一昨年の4月に、親方様がかねてより画家に命じて描かせていたものを、あそこに展示なされたのでございます。
I see. And who is she?
あのじいさまがね、わざわざ描かせてか。
Just for him. The portrait suited this western mansion, and that woman in the elegant dress gave off a sense of refinement. I couldn't have guessed her age, but her sharp eyes and the strong will she seemed to possess made her look youthful. She seemed somehow different from the composed, middle-aged woman you often see in famous pictures. If she had normal black hair, I might have assumed it was a portrait of my long-deceased grandmother in her prime. Yeah. However, she had beautiful blonde hair and didn't look Japanese at all. Huh. Again, with the English tones in this whole thing.
んで、誰だい？このご婦人はよ。
Yeah, I guess so. I guess Ballard doesn't know who this lady is. Is she related to the family? Maria answered that simple question enthusiastically, as though proud she knew the answer. You do? Beatrice.
なんだって？
Beatrice.
ベアトリーチェ。魔女だよ。
Wait, what did you say? A witch?
バトラ君は昔聞かされたことない？
魔女？って、この島の？
The witch of the island? I think I already said this, but Rokkenjima is a small island, only 10 kilometers in circumference. However, that's actually pretty massive, considering that only the Uchinomiya family lives here. So, only the harbor and the area around the mansion were set up to be lived in. Which would mean that the rest of this island is mostly just forest and such. Sheesh. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as when it was inhabited. The vast and empty forest had absolutely no lights, phones, or people passing through. To understand how dangerous that is, you need to forget your common sense as a city dweller. After all, if you happen to fall down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprain your ankle, no one will come save you, no matter how much you cried or screamed. Ugh. That adds to the spookiness, that's for sure. The spookiness that has already been built up until now. Then, once the sun went down, the forest would be wrapped in complete darkness, since there were no streetlights. And, since there were no signs, it'd be easy to get lost and confused, losing your sense of direction inside that dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place. But to the people of bygone eras, before the light of civilization drove out the night, forests were as geographically separated from civilization as the sea. Fishermen who go out into the ocean are putting their lives at risk, despite their technical knowledge. In the same way, hunters who go out to the forest are in danger, despite having specialized knowledge of their own. If children were to go play in such a dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Someone's parents must have thought so. Maybe grandmother must first said it, or maybe it was grandfather himself. Are there any creatures that live in the forest that are dangerous too? Or perhaps the story has been passed down on this island since ancient times. There's a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. I see. Okay. At some point, this ghost story of Rokenjima was born. This is the legend of Rokenjima's witch. That's why, when we talk about a witch on this island, we're referring to the master of that vast and savage forest. Come to think of it, when I stayed at this mansion as a little kid, during those eerie nights when the wind and rain pounded on the windows, I remember being terrified by a story of the forest witch, who roamed around searching for human sacrifices. So, Beatrice, huh? I see. Well, your grandfather surely must have had a reason to make this portrait of the witch of the forest out of all things. Because you would think that, you know, it's a ghost story. It's like, it's a old story. I wonder if this person even exists. When Naniki mentioned it, I searched my memory and was sure I recall hearing a name like that when I was little. Because, you know, I was thinking that maybe this person... maybe this person is related to the family. Maybe she's like the Mona Lisa of the Japan.
なるほどな。しかし、あの魔女伝説の魔女にベアトリーチェなんておしゃれな名前がついてたとは、とんと忘れてたぜ。
An English name as well.
じいさまめ。孫たちが信じないもんだから、わざわざ絵に描きやがったか
Nah, I seriously doubt it would be just that. I think that there's more to it than that.
じいさまの妄想の中の魔女だよ。この絵を掲げた頃から、現実と幻想の区別がつかなくなり始めた。
Really now?
私たちにとっては想像の中の魔女に過ぎないけど、じいさまにとっては、彼女はこの島にいる存在。いる。だから、それを理解することができない私たちにもわかるよう、あの絵を描かせたって言うんだけど。気持ち悪いったらありゃしないぜ。
お嬢様、親方様にとっては大切な肖像画です。親方様の前でそのようにおっしゃられることがございませんよ。固くおね。
分かってるぜ。頼まれても言わねえよ。
Jessica glanced at the portrait with an irritated gaze before turning away.
行こうよ。食堂にみんなを待たせてるよ。
George has been awfully silent during that whole thing. Only a small portion of this island was controlled by the Ushinomiya family. All the lawless remainder was the domain of the witch, Beatrice. You might even call her the true ruler of Rokkenjima. I felt a faint revival of that unsettling sense of misfortune. 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 Ghosts roaming around. Woo! Which I felt when I learned of the tutelary god's shrine being struck by lightning. And I remember that Kumasawa-san tried to tell an ominous story about Rokkenjima before Jessica stopped her. Could it be that this is what Kumasawa-san was trying to tell us? About the witch of the Rokkenjima island? I don't know what she was planning to tell us about this island. But I do know one thing. It isn't the Ushinomiya family that rules Rokkenjima. It's the witch, Beatrice. That's right. After all, this is the witch's island. I mean, then again, these could all be delusions from your grandfather. He could be all cuckoo, cuckoo, and creating all this stuff. When I looked around, everyone was already heading toward the dining room. I hurriedly chased after them. We walked up to the huge double doors that led to the dining room. Genji-san knocked.
お子様方をお連れいたしました。失礼いたします。
The doors were opened, and we were invited inside. The dining room, which looked exactly like you'd imagine a rich person's dining room to be, had a super long table that was obviously positioned with no purpose other than to make the guests conscious of their rank. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13 chairs. Our parents were already sitting in accordance with that ordering.
遅いぞガキども。早く席につけよ。
The old bastard pressed us to sit. The only gaps in that group of people were the spots we were supposed to sit, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. The seat at the head of the table, called the incipient's chair, was for the most highly ranked, reserved for grandfather, of course. It was still empty. He probably wanted to show up last for dramatic effect. From the perspective of someone facing the incipient's chair head-on, the seating order went from left to right, with the lower-ranking seats progressing in rows of 2 further away from it. So, the left-hand side of the first row, closest to the incipient's chair, was where Uncle Cross should have sat, since he was the second highest in rank. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet, so that seat was empty. Kraus. That should be Jessica's father. Across from his chair, on the right side of the first row, sat the eldest daughter of the family, Aunt Eva, who was the third highest in rank. The left side of the second row was for the 4th highest in rank. There sat my damn dad, Rudolph, the third of the siblings. Across from him, on the right side of the second row, sat Aunt Rosa, the youngest sibling. At this point, you might expect their husbands and wives to come next. But nope, the left-hand seat in the third row, rank number 6, belonged to Jessica. Well, so far I haven't heard Natsuhi. You would think that she'd be among the highest in rank, like close to Kraus, since I would assume that she's living here with grandfather. Opposite her was George Aniki. I sat next to Jessica. And Maria sat across from me. What the hell? So you're telling me that Natsuhi is ranked lower than even Maria? Then finally, next to me on the left-hand side of the 5th row, sat Aunt Natsuhi, the 10th highest in rank. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi. Oh! Next to Aunt Natsuhi, in the 6th row and the final seat on the left-hand side, sat Kirie-san. Okay, for Kirie-san I can definitely understand that, cause, well, she's not the original wife of Rudolph. She came after Battler's mother died. So, yeah, I can totally understand that. From the perspective of the family, she still is a bit of a stranger. But still. The seat opposite to Kirie-san was empty, even though silverware had been set there and everything. According to this ranking system, that spot was where Aunt Rosa's husband should be sitting. Even though he wasn't supposed to be coming, his place was made up. Yeah, speaking of that, I haven't heard a single word about Rosa's husband, like Maria's father. They haven't mentioned him like one bit. I guess he's not coming. Normally, ranking systems of this sort give spouses equal positions as their partners, but the Yoshiramiya family system was unique. Yeah, I wonder. Maybe it's a remnant of male chauvinism. Nah, is it really that? In that case, what about Eva and Rosa? If you start with the assumption that a woman's womb is just something to be borrowed, then the children of direct descent would come first, directly followed by the grandchildren. In other words, spouses have no blood ties and are therefore placed at the end of the line. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be it. It's terrible, but by this system, my grandmother would be ranked even lower than me if she were still alive. In their youth, they obey their father. After they get married, their husband. After aging, their children. Good old times like that. We are definitely not missing those times one bit. About this kind of mentality, there's the old saying, women have no home in any realm. Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out, I thought it was so great that we could all chat in our little groups, adult siblings with adult siblings and cousins with cousins. However, now that I can really examine the seating order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsuhi, who was married to the eldest son and was the de facto number 2 in managing this family, sat to my right. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Which meant that she was 2 steps lower than me in the ranking order. It was hard to imagine what might be going on inside her heart. Yeah, you know, what with her inferiority complex and whatever happened, whatever is going on in the background between her and grandfather, probably her husband, and Jessica, there might be some conflict there as well. Not mind me, there definitely is some conflict there. That's why I made a small apologetic gesture towards her before sitting down.
お久しぶりですね、バトラ君。ずいぶん背が伸びましたね。
ああ、はい。食ったり食べたり食事したりしてたら、いつの間にかこんな身長に。
And pervertiness. Lots and lots of pervertiness. Like your typical high schooler.
さすが男の子ね。身長はいくつくらいあるの？
I did notice this before, but her hair has 2 colors. I would assume that that's an attachment to her hair.
180かな。つうかおばさん、そこは食べてばっかりじゃねえかって突っ込んでくださいよ。
え？ああ。ごめんなさいね。
After a short pause, she did laugh with me, but it seems she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. This woman is Aunt Natsuhi. She is the wife of the eldest son of the family. meaning she's my father's older brother's wife. Is this simply if I just call her Jessica's mother? Yeah, definitely. It feels bad to say it like that, but while I didn't exactly dislike her, I didn't particularly like her either. She hardly ever spoke with us kids, and all my memories of her involve her talking to the adults about complicated things, with a scary look on her face. In fact, since we hardly ever exchanged words, I spent a long time trying to figure out how I should approach her. Though my efforts seem to have ended in failure. The silverware was set neatly on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in yet. As a general rule, you couldn't start a meal until the person sitting at the head of the table arrived. So, as long as grandfather didn't come, lunch would be put on hold indefinitely. Great. Not even the appetizers would arrive. Simply put, the silence in this room was caused by our parents enduring their hunger, while they waited for grandfather to arrive. Probably doing some more of his black magic in his laboratory, which I'm still curious about. You know, black magic, witch, the witch of Rokkenjima. I get the feeling that this grandfather of yours is definitely obsessed with this witch, and he's probably doing some black magic that has something to do with this witch. However, the grandfather from my memories would always show up on time to meals like this. He was the kind of person who would never be so late that he kept everyone waiting, especially after the entire group had arrived.
遅えな、じいさま。俺の記憶じゃ、時間に厳格な人だったと思うんだけどな。
Yeah, and especially today, out of all days. He probably doesn't even give it. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that he doesn't really give a shit about his about his family. So yeah, I guess.
まあ、6年前はそうだったかもな。最近はそうでもねえよ。というか、もう自分の世界オンリーって感じで、会食にも顔を出さねえぜ。さすがに今日くらいは足並みを揃えてくれるって思ってたんだけどな。まあ、私は来ない方が気楽で嬉しいけどよ。
ジェシカ
When her mother scolded her, Jessica stuck her tongue out and looked away. Yeah. No way around it. Might as well wait until our host arrives. When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 12:20. Ushiramiya Kinzo, the aged family head of the Ushiramiya head family. This man could be seen in his study. The clock had already passed noon, but he didn't even attempt to rise from his seat. With his spectacles on, he built up a growing pile of books with elaborate bindings, which he then read intently. You couldn't really say that he was having too much fun to stop. Rather, he filled the room with a sense of impatience, or perhaps a sense of impending danger, as though every second wasted was a tragedy. In this sealed room, a dense dust danced through the air, which was thick with the stench of chemicals that exuded a mix of suspicious odors. Those odors were somehow sweet and heavy. If anyone with a normal nose came in here, the first thing they'd do would be to open a window and ventilate this room. The knocking against the study door had been going on for a while. A voice calling father sometimes mingled with the knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book in his hands and slammed it on the table. Then he yelled at Cross, who was still knocking on the door.
Yakamoshi! その音を止めぬか愚か者。叩けば扉は開かれると誰が教えた。 そのバカ者は貼り付けにしたぞ。お前もそうされたいのか。
お父さん、年に一度の親族会議の日ではありませんか。皆下に集まっています。どうかおいでください。
Klaus called out to his father through the door. Kinzo always shut himself up in the study, hating it when nearly anyone, even his family, entered the room. For that reason, Klaus had no choice but to call to him from the corridor like this.
私にかがうでない。皆とは何か私をここから引きずり出そうとする者どもなのか。ならば殺してしまい、バラバラにして薪にして魔女の炉にくべてしまい、その炉には鍋をかけて苦いおもぎを煮るがいい。黙示録の煮汁はそれでも私をここから連れ出そうとするバカ者どもに飲ませてやれ。残りは酒につけるのだ。ああ、源氏はどこだ。源氏を呼べ。苦界の魔師を用意させろ。緑の妖精のささやきが届かぬ。ああ、源氏はどこだ。源氏を呼べ。
On the other side of the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji kept waiting for the master of the house, who stubbornly refused to come out.
すっかり嫌われてしまったようだ。もう私の声では何も届かんよ。
Kraus shrugged as though saying, "It's no use," and smiled bitterly. From the beginning, he hadn't really expected his father to respond to his calls. However, since it was the duty of the eldest son, he had tried as a formality.
金蔵さん、あんたの顔を見に息子や娘や孫たちが来てるんじゃないか。ちょっと顔を見せてやったらどうだね。
うるさい、黙れ。私に意見するというか南條。貴様など呼んではおらぬ。私は源氏を呼べと言ったのだ。さあ急げ、すぐに呼べ。時間は常に有限だ。人たちはすでにラッパを構えているぞ。なぜにそれがわからぬか、愚かな羊どもめ。
Kinzo slammed an old heavy book against the table over and over. That record clearly expressed his great displeasure. Kinzo put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open, as if to sing to a packed opera house, as if appealing to someone, and yelled.
なぜだ。なぜにいつも私には邪魔が入るのか。すべてを捨てよう、すべてを捧げよう。その見返りに私は一つしか求めないというのに。ああ、ベアトリーチェ、お前の微笑みをもう一度見られるならば、私は世界中から美少を奪い取り、すべてをお前に捧げよう。おお、イナゴの軍団長たちよ、世界中から美少を刈り取り収穫せ。ああ、すべてが汚らわしい。すべてが煩わしい。なぜこの貴重な一日に私は邪魔を受けねばならぬのか。源氏を呼べ。
何を怒鳴ってるのかもさっぱりだな。もう頭がどうにかなっているのだろう。
クラウスさん、実のお父さんにそりゃあんまりじゃないかね。
親父はすでに死んでいる。ここにいるのは親父だったものの幻さ。 いずれにせよ本人にここを出る意思がない以上どうにもならんね。
金蔵さん。
Choking coughs continued to pour from the study.
私は下に戻る。ゴーダの自慢のランチをこれ以上無駄に冷ましてしまうことはない。親類たちにとって当家での数少ない楽しみだろうからな。
Kraus spun around. He looked at his watch, mumbling and acting as though he had wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain.
源氏さん、親父殿がお呼びだ。相手を頼む。
かしこまりました。
南條先生、食事に行きましょう。いつまでもここにいると、この甘い匂いで味覚までおかしくなってしまう。
Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo glanced between the study door and Kraus's back as the latter disappeared down the stairs, then let out a deep sigh.
すまんが源氏さん、頼みます。
はい、お任せください。
お酒はなるべく与えないように。あれは常習性が強すぎる。
源氏はまだか。何者が源氏を阻んでいるというのか。うわあ、源氏はどこだ。源氏を呼べ。
さあ、ここはお任せください。
すみませんな。
Nanjo bowed slightly and descended the stairs. Genji watched him leave, then knocked on the study door.
親方様、源氏でございます。
源氏か。何故私をこれほどに待たすのか。そこには誰もおるまいな。
はい、私だけでございます。
Kinzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. After a small delay, the heavy sound at the door unlocking could be heard. Kinzo was convinced that his family wanted to make a mess of the study. Or perhaps someone had once opened the window for some air and ended up scattering things that, to him, were important research materials, leaving him in a terrible mood. Kinzo had outfitted his room with a formidable lock, preventing anyone from entering without his permission, and thereby sitting himself in a jail of his own making. Genji, whom he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that didn't always hold. If Kinzo was in a bad mood, even Genji wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, unable even to see Kinzo's face. And most of the time, what they got could hardly be called a conversation. However, this didn't trouble the rest of the family much. After all, it just wasn't worth the effort to disturb this aging family head, who was impossible to please and always stayed shut away, immersed in his research. Taking advantage of his refusal to leave his room, they supported his isolation, putting his care entirely into the hands of the servants.
源氏、いつものやつを頼む。私は忙しい。
はい。
Genji headed to a corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering the shady atmosphere of this room, one might easily suspect them of being some ghastly poison. Inside the study, the mysterious collection of books gathered by Kinzo had grown into a mountain. They were bizarre, ancient, or banned books, all of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed. But if you tried to call them old books, Kinzo would fly into a rage and say, "Call them grimoires!" There were also many mysterious objects that presumably held some meaning with regards to black magic, like candles suspiciously melted and molded into strange shapes. The constellations drawn on a certain celestial globe contained quite a few shapes that would draw puzzled looks from anyone familiar with today's night sky. The carelessly strewn about books contained many illustrations, all of them of religious or mysterious nature, including some depicting demonically grotesque subjects or bizarre diagrams of various magic circles. And above all, a sweet poisonous smell filled the room, profoundly assaulting the eyes and noses of those who entered for the first time. Eventually, it must surely make a person go numb and lose their grip on reality. Inside that study, Genji prepared Kinzo's usual drink with a well-trained hand. No one would even think of drinking such an ominous dark green liquid in that complex and ornate glass, unless someone first told him it was alcohol. He poured a little into the glass. Then, he placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon and poured water from a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the transparent water was poured, the dark green liquid turned a cloudy white. It was a strange optical illusion, as though the water had caused a chemical reaction and made the drink become even more unrecognizable as a liquor. Then, Genji added original flavors Kinzo loved, fine-tuning its taste. There was no recipe. Its success was measured only by Kinzo's mood swings when he drank it, and it had taken Genji many decades to learn how to do it right. Genji placed the glass on the tray and walked over to Kinzo. By this time, Kinzo was gazing out the window.
どうぞ、親方様。
ああ、すまん。
Kinzo had regained his composure, and was now unrecognizable as the shouting, screaming alien from a few moments ago. Looking at this man from behind as he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window, he projected a sense of dignity and intelligence. To allow Kinzo to set his glass down at any time, Genji motionlessly waited behind Kinzo to his left, as though he were a living sideboard. Then, without averting his eyes from the window, Kinzo held out his glass. There was only a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set it upon the tray, but a motion to hand the glass over to Genji.
Noby, 我が友よ。
もったいないお言葉です。
私とお前の中に儀礼はいらぬ。Noby、友よ。
いただきます。
Genji respectfully received the glass, and inclined it a little to taste its contents. After that, he gulped it down.
お前が作るのを真似ているのだがどうにも同じ味が出ぬ。お前が作る方がうまい。
ありがとうございます。親方様のご指導の賜物です。
Kinzo smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. His smile was relaxed, as though chuckling at a close friend's old, unshakable habit.
互いに老いたな。年を数えることも忘れてすでに久しい。
今日まで過ごすことをお許しいただけたのも、すべて親方様のおかげでございます。
Kinzo gave a faint smile, as if to say he didn't need any flattery.
今日まで本当によく私に仕えてくれた。息子たちは誰もが私を変人呼ばわりした。大勢いた使用人も皆私を恐れてやめていった。お前だけが今でも私に仕えてくれる。
もったいないお言葉
私の余命もそう長くはあるまい。息子たちは私の遺産がいつ転がり込んでくるかをうろうろ待つハゲタカばかりだ。クラウスの愚か者は金を湯水のように使い、1枚の金貨を売るのに2枚の金貨を捨てておる。それで金を稼げたなどと妄言を。エヴァは金の亡者だ。あやつは私を鶏か何かだと思っておる。死んだらガラにして出汁まで取る気だ。ルドルフの間抜けは女遊びばかり。ローザはどこの馬の骨ともわからん男の赤ん坊など産みおって、ジェシカは無能で無学だ。ジョージには男としての器がない。バトラーは後宮家の栄誉を自ら捨ておった愚か者だ。マリアなど見るのも汚らわしい。なぜだ、なぜに後宮の血はこうも無能なのか。私の築き上げた栄光を受け継ぐにふさわしい者はおらんのか。ああ、分かっておるとも。これがベアトリーチェの呪いであることも分かっておる。黄金の魔女め、それが私への復讐のつもりか。憎みたくば憎むがよい。逃げたければ逃げるがよい。逃がさぬ、逃がさぬ、逃がさぬ、逃がさぬわ。お前は私のものだ。常に私の腕の中でなくてはならん。私の生涯のすべてなのだ。我が鳥かごにて永遠に私だけにささやき続けるのだ。ベアトリーチェ、なぜに微笑み返してはくれぬ。ベアトリーチェ。
After howling, Kinzo choked once again. Genji set the tray and glass down and rubbed his master's back. Genji's facial expression did not change. He was always like this.
すまぬ我が友よ。
When his seemingly deranged fit subsided, Kinzo regained his composure once again. It was like seeing two different people, a wild Kinzo and a composed Kinzo, living together inside one body.
故に私は決心した。このままぼやききった余生を怠慢に過ごすことなどもはや耐えられはせん。この身に最後にとするコインがあるならば、それを悪魔たちのルーレットに託してみたい。魔法の力はいつもかけるリスクで決まる。日本古来の呪術である牛の国参りがそうであろう。7日間儀式を目撃されてはならないというリスクを支払うからこそ魔力が宿る。困難なリスクが生じれば生じるほどに魔力は強く生じるのだ。神話に登場する数々の奇跡は天文学的リスクに奇跡的な低確率を得て成就した驚愕すべき魔力の結晶なのだと言える。モーゼが海を割ったのは神の奇跡ではない。蹂躙の計りに乗せられ軍勢によって航海に追い詰められた 絶体絶命のリスクが奇跡の魔力を生んだのだ。同じことが同じ規模で繰り返されようとも再び海が割れることはないだろう。なぜならモーゼは力ある者たちのルーレットの阿葬儀ナユタをかけたよりも多く存在する目の中に一つだけ刻まれた奇跡を見事引き寄せることができたからだ。その天文学的確率に勝利できる力、そう奇跡をつかみ取る運気はすなわち魔力なのだ。強大な魔力を得るためには絶望的なリスクを背負わねばならぬ。魔力持たぬ者はそれを賭けでなく自暴自棄と呼ぼう。しかし真に魔力ある者はその奇跡をつかみ取り神秘を成就させるのだ。もしも私にその魔力があるならば私はその奇跡をつかみ取るだろう。生涯を費やした願いを実現できるだろう。
Kinzo looked up to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone up in the skies.
もし私にその奇跡を手にする資格があったなら、おお、ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ、お前の愛くるしい笑顔をもう一度だけ見せてくれ。どれほどの月日を経ようともお前の面影が消えることはない。ただお前の美少が見たい、それだけだ。お前から授かったものを全て返そう。あの日からの栄光を全てお前に返そう。富も名誉も黄金もいらぬ。お前に授かった全てを返そう。私はただお前の美少が見たいだけなのだ。五章だ、ベアトリーチェ。
His nonsensical yells became a scream, and then a wail. Kinzo slumped on the floor, tearing at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lamentations.